Hello, Leo. Welcome to a Timeless Justice for Leo reading. Bear in mind a few moments while we anticipate your reading that you have decided to check into a collective insight held by me, 7th, and are planning on doing your best and using your discernment to take all the bits and pieces that resonate with you and leave anything with the reading behind that may not. Understand that the term justice, that may or less may be the reason why you're here, is a concept that is tied to energies that I read for, which are allocated to two channels. This is one of them. And this content specifically, this reading is tied to 𝗖𝘀𝗵𝗔𝗽 energy, and I run her sister energy separately on another channel. And you can allocate between either two via the description box below if you should feel the need or the desire to do so. With that being said, however, keep in mind, I like how I just skipped a billion words. Keep in mind that 𝗖𝘀𝗵𝗔𝗽 energy is to trigger, and that it may be a merciless approach to get the emotions going, perhaps. Okay, but I just want to have you, the listener, be aware that the concept of justice is in the realms of however you may or may not have a relationship to the energies of 𝗖𝘀𝗵𝗔𝗽 is as relevant as anything. Okay. However, she is, again, the color of vibration that it is meant to trigger and does her best to deliver that. So keep that in mind for the entirety of the reading. In regards to who I am 7th, aka Master 7th, that goes by 7th. That is a master healer. I provide remote wellness alignments and tarot intuitive insights such as this. If you'd like a bit more details or reading insight or whatever you might be in search of, feel free again to check out that description box below. All right. In regards to your reading, feminine and masculine energies are non-gender specific. However, keep in mind femininity encapsulates feminine and masculine energies, and masculinity encapsulates both feminine and masculine energies as well. All right, justice for Leo, temperance energy. So I'm getting like neck issues here. All right, so this could mean a ton of things. All right, keep in mind, I'm an intuitive reader, as I say and disclose what I'm about to say. You might have increased pneumonia issues or symptoms, or recurring problems in regards to your lungs, bronchitis. You might have COVID-like symptoms or COVID symptoms. You might be suffering with lymphatic issues and tonsil issues. Some of you have a smoking addiction of tobacco, cigarettes specifically. Specifically cigarettes, that some of you want to stop and don't know how to. It's really driving you on wit's end here, that you feel like you can't defeat a desire of tackling an addiction, most likely tied to tobacco here. I do see some other shit here, but it's specifically here right now, cigarettes, that is a problem here, and that can give you the beginning of, you can master this one. Like, you can put an end to that. This may not be an agreement for all or anyone, who knows, but the message is be a bit more careful in which crystals you place on your body, especially when you're meditating. I understand this is something that a lot of people do independent research on, which is the best way that you could do this, and then also follow your intuition to see if there are other advices that you can get from other people that may attract you more to working with said frequencies of anything. At the same time, there's old timeline and new timeline. The new timeline that's been on some version of integration and birthing aspect here is the very old beginning timeline. And it is, yes, great to touch with frequencies that have been around for a long time, more or less also the dawning of quote-unquote wrong time. Yet, if wrong time has been an influence to the crystal's frequency in it of itself from that crossing doesn't make it as pure as you may assume it to be. I'm just going to coast right along that. Moving right along. All right, Leo. All right, Knight of Wands. So, fucking ego wars all around. All right, including yourself here. You've more or less may have had an opportunity to be in contact with some version of a healer in that niche, in that community, and your ego just wouldn't let that naturally happen. It's not a one-size-fits-all narrative, obviously. Yeah, fuck. I hate this card. All right, Seven of Swords. No. Just, no. It's no. It's no. Some of y'all have been on this, abort that. Abort it. It's not about pivot anymore. Abort that shit. You know better. You know better. Like, this is definitely tied to you, Leo. I don't like calling people out like that. I don't. That doesn't mean I can't. But, you know, since it's still a collective reading, I'm not going to say, like, it's definitely you. But, hey. If it ain't you, you know somebody that's guilty. So we're making you fucking guilty. Abort it. Concerned about narratives that are not yours to concern about? Abort that fucking mission. Fucking around with people for unnecessary reasons. Being nice, but actually being a jackass. Abort it. Abort that pettiness. Oof. Oh, Leo, abort that shit. Okay. All right. So, if you want victory, victory is what you shall have, but it isn't inclusive of whatever the things that you think you are victorious now, if it includes pettiness in order to be in a position that gives you power. Getting that one. Some of you owe somebody an apology. Some of you have practiced, this is again not a one-size-fits-all message here, but some of you have practiced some ritual witchy brujeria, and some of that is coming back to bite you in the ass. Some of you have some explaining to do. Yeah, some. Oh, funny, not funny. Funny, not funny. It's going back to needing to owe somebody an apology. And you might be too stubborn to actually provide it. Yep. You're not interested. Alright. I'm being told to ask the question out loud if this energy will come back to bite you in the ass. For knowing that you could do something and choosing not to do it. And living in the luxuries of what you think is your luxury right now. Or will it come back and bite you in the ass? Time will tell. 2 wands, time will tell. Nope. Yep. This reading is going to be short and sweet for y'all. Alright. Sarah's nurture. Gives me that you owe somebody an apology. You've taken in a lot of love. You've held on for something, and now it's time to more or less reciprocate. Last quarter release. Release the need to be petty. And practice purity. Relationships, Juno. Wow. Yep. More or less owing somebody an apology. And abort that pettiness. Abort it. Abort that thing. You know that thing. It's not a person I'm asking you to abort. It's a character development within inside that I'm asking you to abort. Time will tell. 2 of Wands. What you will learn about that. Alright. With that being said, I'm wishing you a wonderful morning, noon, or night, wherever you are in the ether of this time and space, and may you keep flowing, growing, and glowing. Take care.